Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Hey, everybody. It's Friday. And for many people, that's an exciting thing. Maybe this is when your work weekend starts. I know a lot of folks work the weekends or it's just middle of the week for you. But still, it's Friday. It should bring some joy. Even if it just harkens back to when you were a kid and there wasn't school tomorrow or there was something fun coming up, which is why Joan ends her show with do something that fills your soul and have fun. This is a relief today in Chicago that the air quality has improved. It's still hazardous, but not anywhere near what it was. I mean, at the height yesterday, we had Andy here was telling me that there were parts of the area that were up to 900. Again, it is the particles in the air. There's some great websites you can go to. We spoke to an expert yesterday from UIC who talked to us about the fact that we have 277 air quality monitors, like these sensors all over the city of Chicago, the second most in the world, number one in the country. Everyone can go to Open Air. Well, first Google Open Air Chicago, and you'll get information from the city of Chicago in regards to where we are with air quality. And the thing is that there are these, the AQI, the air quality index from 0 to 50 is good. From 51 to 100 is moderate. Anything over 100 becomes unhealthy for sensitive groups. And then yesterday, it was essentially hazardous for everyone to be outside, which was kind of scary. I don't know how you guys are feeling today. If you want to check in with us, you can text us or call at 773-763-9278. Of course, we don't have to have just smoky talk. And it wasn't the fun kind of smoke. It was, it wasn't like campfire. Let's get some s'more sort of smoke. It was hard yesterday. I was struggling today, even going up some stairs because I could tell that I was impacted by it. So, again, you can go to Open Air Chicago, and I think from there you'll also find links to other websites where you can learn more, like the U.S. EPA Clean Air Network designed for the ambient air quality monitoring. Airnow.gov is another location. So yeah, right now it's better. It's still slightly over 100, but nowhere near the hazardous atmosphere we were all a part of yesterday. So absolutely relieved. It was strange. I was telling somebody today, it was sort of challenging because I realized first of all, I have K95 masks in my car. I had a stack of them. And so it was easy for me to grab one because of the pandemic. Who knew a pandemic would prepare us for the next plague? It's like plague to plague around here. And it's just strange to previously need a mask to go inside and then need a mask to go outside. And but here we are doing better today. I hope that you all fared well. But there is stories about people having respiratory issues. It does affect our circulatory system. So a lot of folks having heart issues. A lot of folks messaging me about how it was impacting them. If you want to text at 773-763-9278, that's 773-763-9278. Coming up on the show today, I do want to let you know that we've got some guests joining us on the phone and in studio. Coming up at 5:45, we'll talk to Loni Ulrich, who is working with Indivisible, Skokie-Morton, Grove, and Lincolnwood. And we're going to talk about a vigil coming up on Sunday. And we will talk more about this ICE agent. I know Matt McNeil will have some thoughts. Matt McNeil, the host of the Matt McNeil Show on KTNF AM 950, is going to be in studio. How weird is that? He'll be in studio. And then at 6:30, we're going to welcome back our friends from AFS-USA. You can go to AFS-USA.org to learn more about the work that they do. And perhaps you want to get involved and be a host family for students who are set to arrive in August. Some of them are coming for half a year, some for a full year. If you or someone you know might be interested in that, please make sure you visit AFS-USA.org. That's A, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, USA, you know how to spell that, traditional spelling, .org, AFS-USA.org. And we'll talk with our friends who are visiting from other parts of the world and see if they also were enchanted by ranch dressing. That seems to be the big thing. Paul, do we have you potted up on here? Right, Paul? Whenever you have is that the one?
Do you have me?
I do have you. Hi, Paul.
Yeah, you can hear me?
Let me roll you up a little bit more. That's me. Oh, there we go. Hi.
Yeah, no, I can do that too.
Oh, hi. How you
Hi,
doing?
how's it going?
It's going all right. First of all, I will mention that I brought a bag of sample meals from Seattle Sutton. So I hope you enjoy your selection. Don't forget to grab it because now they're all over the fridge, and I hope people remember what they chose.
Gotcha.
But thank you to our friends right down the street at Seattle Sutton. I stopped in to talk to them about the Jefferson Park Sunday Market and possibly sponsoring us and being part of that. And then I mentioned I was here, and then we talked about maybe collaborating, and they gave me a bag of food to bring to everybody.
Cool.
And I'll be honest, I already had the pizza. I had the barbecue chicken pizza.
Did you like it?
Me and Andy had, it was really good.
Cool.
Super good with a little bean and corn salad, like a little Southwest salad. But so we have students coming in, and I believe at least one of them is from France, and I think it may be two students from France. Of course, they've been knocked out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring that up to them.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, it's like that's a national tragedy.
No, mostly, I would imagine. I am not thrilled with...
No, they've been regressing since 2018. They won it all then. They were the runner-up in 2022, and now they didn't even make it to the final.
They didn't even make it to the third place game.
Well, they got tomorrow to get third place.
Oh, tomorrow is the third. They're fighting. So tomorrow is France and England?
That's correct, at 4 o'clock local Central Time, anyhow.
That's an interesting battle.
Yeah, that should be. I mean, I don't know what effort they're going to put in, but I think that should be a good one on paper.
I think a lot of people are going to pretend like tomorrow's the real cup.
In France and England.
Yeah, France and England. People hate Argentina and Spain. Everyone is feeling challenged to for folks who maybe don't follow a lot of these stories on social media. Now it's become with the Final Four. It was choosing between colonizers. Everyone was like, do I choose my colonizer or your colonizer or Argentina? And everyone was choosing everyone else's colonizer. Nobody wanted Argentina. It's this widely hated team.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Argentina's gotten like an edge from the referees, maybe. But I feel like at this stage, almost all of them have in some way, shape, or form. So just enjoy the games. It's all we got left.
That's all we got left. Just sit down, shut up, and watch the game. So tomorrow is France and England. So what time is that game?
4 o'clock p.m. Central.
4 o'clock. Are they both 4 o'clock games, or
no? 2 o'clock on Sunday. I don't know why they're throwing us off like that.
Yeah, that's a shame. And are you gonna be here watching the game?
I'll be here Saturday working because I'll be on the clock, so I won't be. I definitely won't be watching.
No one
football,
should come by with some snacks or anything to hang out and watch you work.
Yeah, especially because I think we have pre-recorded programs on too, so I got to keep a listen on the station. But Sunday I switch shifts so I can watch the match before I go see my parents.
Excellent. Well, that'd be very fun. But do you have a favorite for the third place? It makes me giggle. The third place team.
Yeah, right. Like, how many tournaments do that? Where it's like, sorry, you lost the semis, you don't get to play for the championship, but why don't you stay for one more?
It's really humiliating.
I like France tomorrow, but at the same time, I've been riding France the whole tournament, and they lost to Spain.
Are you blaming yourself?
No, I just think it's, France and Spain was supposed to be a good one on paper, and I just picked the wrong team.
So to that, right?
I was 50% wrong. I was 50% right.
There you go. Well done. I mean, I will say this. The reason why it makes me giggle that they go through all that, they play these, grueling games. They have heartbreaking losses, both of them, right? Any stage of this is heartbreaking. The whole world is watching, literally, in your homeland, whatever that energy is like. And then, but here's the thing: up until that, the knockout stuff, they calculate that you could have a tied game, and people are like, well, we'll add it up later. But when you get to the end, like, why didn't they just add up those two games, and go, well, it looks like France came in third.
Oh, you're talking about like an aggregate score amongst...
like they do for the other rounds.
They do that for like other stuff, but I think just for the sake of like neutrality, I really don't know why there's a third place game, but I think it's just so that when they rank the tournament, it's like, okay, here were your top 4 teams in order. And it's one more exciting match. We get to see England versus France.
I'm sorry. I just got distracted by something that made me giggle. I apologize.
Well, third place games made you giggle too.
Yeah, it does make me giggle. So when I ran for office, there was a wonderful neighbor who she and her daughter would help me. We would volunteer and go door knocking and stuff. And her daughter would call me Patti Baskets.
Okay.
Right, which is right. Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
They call it. So she called me Patti Baskets, and I just thought it was the sweetest thing. And I'm not gonna be like, excuse me, it's Vasquez. Because Patti Vasquez is actually closer to the way a lot of people pronounce it.
Did you ever see the Zach Galifianakis show, Baskets?
No. Oh, yes. I've seen
It was
some
a ridiculous show, but
Yeah. So this listener says, PV, I have to bring this to your attention. Toddler age mispronounce your name as Batsy Boxes. I like.
That's adorable.
I think that needs to be my band name, even though I'll never play an instrument. Batsy Boxes. Opening for Joan Jett. I don't know why I have to. That's who I want to open for now. She came out with a very strong statement about this administration, so I was really excited about that. But
cool.
Yeah, Batsy Boxes. Sadly, there's nothing you can do about it. Bright side is, at that age, their linguistic skills improve. No, please don't stop doing that. Batsy Boxes is amazing. I was actually Patsy until I started playing Little League Baseball on a boys team, and for whatever reason, I just felt like Patty sounded less soft, I guess.
Were you raised as Patsy?
Yes, I was. My dad was a huge fan of Patsy Cline, and my aunt's name is Patricia, and her nickname was Pat, so they didn't want to call me Pat, which I'm glad. Oh, sorry, Aunt Pat, I love you, but so my dad called me Patsy.
Okay,
and but I'm kind of glad not to be a Trisha. Sorry, Trishas. I don't know.
What about the full Patricia?
I like how you said it though. That's exactly why I don't like it. Patricia, the hard P.
Patricia.
Patty.
Patty.
I am so all over the place.
I'm sorry, just to interrupt really quickly. It's the Patti Vasquez. I think every Chicagoan, and including myself, wants to be like Patti Vasquez.
I was going to say this. So my, obviously I've talked about growing up in Chicago. I went to Lang Tech. There was a boy that I dated on and off for 7 years, from high school all the way past college. And we hadn't seen each other for a long time. Let's call him Jason because that's his name. And you know what? I mean, I'm already halfway there. Jason Wilk, because that's his name. So my husband and I were going to a PTA meeting, and there's some pictures because I went to. We were lifeguards together and had gone to events together and stuff. So anyway, we're coming around the corner, and I hear Patti Vasquez. It was like the most Chicago dripping accent. And Steve goes, oh, geez. And it was my ex-boyfriend, Jason Wilk, who also grew up in Chicago. But yeah, it was such a, like I said, it was such a Chicago. Patti Vasquez.
Patti Vasquez.
Oh, so our kids were in the same school together. That's the rest of that story. Our kids.
There you go, generational.
Like, what were the chances here? What's going on here? Okay, where were we? Patti Baskets, Betsy Boxes, Batsy Boxes. I like that a lot. Batsy Boxes. Okay. Let me see if I can pull this back in. Nope, I don't have it. I do not have the show anymore. It has gotten away from me, and I'm okay with that.
You could reset. Friday. Tell us who we got on the show today.
Yeah. I hope it's not right now. We don't have anybody now because I am not prepared.
I had a schedule, but it's yours in the copy that's in studio.
Oh, that's fine. We have coming up today on Zoom, we have Loni Ulrich of Indivisible, Skokie-Morton, Grove-Lincolnwood backup. I'm not supposed to read the phone number on the air. Okay. We also have a guest co-host in studio, Matt McNeil. He may get here earlier, so don't drive fast or tell your Uber driver to drive more quickly. But we will have Matt McNeil from KTNF AM 950, the Matt McNeil Show host, joining us. You hear him every night here at 9 p.m. Coming up at 6:30, we've got our friends from AFS-USA. We want to thank our sponsors for making these silly conversations happen. I swear we talk about other things. If you're just tuning in, we'll ground it in reality in a moment. We'll come back and talk some more World Cup when we come back. But I do want to thank our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to Pride Coffee Roasters and put in an order for the best single origin roasted order coffee beans you have ever had. I'm kind of sad that there's no farmer's market this weekend because I can't buy another bag of coffee from them. It's fantastic. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. You can also put in an order for a bean subscription delivered to your home and find out where they will be at a farmer's market near you. I'll bet you they're at the Skokie Market this weekend. The really wonderful market in Skokie when we're not at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market. We also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar, put in a reservation to have an appointment with Peter Sorellis to walk you through the process of having solar panels on your house or business. He's recently partnered with an Illinois program called Solar for All to help you with the financing because you will save money, and this way it takes that edge off, that sort of that gut punch of like, how much is this going to cost me? You've got a process that simplifies it, streamlines it, and helps you save money because when you go green, you save green. We also want to thank our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Hello to our friends who are tuning in on Substack. We're so grateful to have you here. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com and maybe put in an order for a can of, I don't know, some fascist Fascist Tears. Well, not one can. You got to buy a few 4-packs. But Fascist Tears is a wonderful West Coast IPA. I don't like IPAs. I don't know what the difference is between I like a hazy IPA. Do you like hazy IPAs, Paul?
I like all IPAs.
All IPA. Have you had the Fascist Tears yet?
No, I don't think I have.
I'll hook you up with that.
That's Minocqua. Is that a newer one from them?
It's a West Coast IPA. It was the Culver Spy Ring previously, so they change the label sometimes.
I liked the Magateers. I like that one.
Wasn't that good? Yeah, Magateers are good too. That might be it, because what they do is they change the labels. It'll just be their Kolsch's, like their Tammy Shandy is one, but today that's a Mount Shandy. They have a Mount Rushmore Shandy with some of their biggest supporters on the can.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they just change the label sometimes. Yeah, I'll get you some. I think I don't know if I have any resistance in the office. I got resistance in my heart, but not in my office.
I was going to say politics, much like beer, is fluid.
Exactly. Yep. Keep the resistance fluid, folks. Go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com. There's also a marketplace where you can support business owners who will never, ever give money to the GOP, to MAGA, to conservatives, to fascists. Let's talk a little bit more about that when we come back. Let's remind folks that Trump asked, Dementia Donnie asked Russia and China, by the way, to intervene in 2016. We'll talk about that and more when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and all of our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook and YouTube and Substack with Minocqua Brewing Company.
Out Chicago.
Right now, Pete Buttigieg is leading the field of potential Democratic presidential contenders in 2028. And my wonder, will America elect a gay man as president?
You're looking at somebody who has waited her whole life for a woman to be elected president.
100%.
And this country has let me down.
Catch Out Chicago every Sunday, 11 to 1 on WCPT 820.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for, open 7 days a week.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog Walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try the catchphrase?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees and minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bankguide for details. Capital One and a member FDIC.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. If you thought that I was all over the place before the break, it's only going to get worse now because Matt McNeil has joined us in studio, the host of the Matt McNeil Show that you hear every single night here on WCPT at 9 p.m. and broadcasting every single day, 2 to 4.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, you've heard those stories. Well, it's okay.
Do you watch the show Psych? Have you ever seen the show Psych?
A little bit, yeah.
So that's a very popular, like whenever he mispronounces something, he says, I've heard it both ways. That's why I'm doing a callback to that pretty much every single day.
I just blast through it. And that's how I'm going to say your name now forever. And
yeah.
then no one wants to correct you if you do it like 3 times. It's like, okay, and then they start asking themselves, am I saying it wrong? It's like, yeah, you are.
Maybe you're wrong. Well, I've had people tell me to my face that I have a family member who says Vasquez, and I'm like, they're not real. I'm not going to. Do they say quesadilla too? I'm not playing this game.
Delicious quesadillas. I just had a bunch of those over at Taco Bell. Dirt cheap too. Delicious.
There's There's a meme going around of a Taco Bell sign that says, "Come on, be honest. How many of you haven't had explosive diarrhea here? Who called the news?
When did Taco Bell not become safe food?" Anyway,
do you remember what knocked out Chi-Chi's? Years ago, in the early 90s, it was E. coli on green onions.
Oh, that's right. I remember
Yes.
that. I thought it was the fact that when you went there and on a birthday, they all came on out, and there is nothing better than being serenaded on your birthday by a bunch of 18-year-olds who are chronically depressed and do not want to sing and are constantly off key.
Did you have a job where you had to sing to people? Because I did.
Oh, I did comedy. I did comedy improv up in Minneapolis for a while.
So
I did actually. I did have to sing occasionally, but not too often.
Okay, yeah, we had to do I worked at Bennigan's. I worked at a lot of places. I worked at Planet Hollywood. We had to sing.
You had to sing at Planet Hollywood?
We had to sing at Planet Hollywood,
Wow.
It was a very stressful job. At any rate, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to say hello. Welcome back to Chicago.
Of course, man.
You came in for the worst air quality day in the world.
Oh, it was better. It was better than up in Minneapolis. It was Minneapolis was very much a smoky Canadian flavor. Now, I want to say this because there's an idiot in the White House who's out there attacking Canada. We had, because this is not just Canada. Northern Minnesota is on fire too.
Yes.
The Boundary Waters Canoe Area part.
Can we sanction you as well? Keep your smoke by you.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently, yeah. I'm not going to try to explain the planet to that idiot. So we had YMCA Boy Scout or YMCA camping groups that were up. Now, of course, you saw the pictures. I was up on the lakes that are on the border of Minnesota and Canada. There's these huge lakes: Rainy Lake, Cabotagama, Lac LaCroix. And there's a lot of, you kind of go across the lake and stuff where you're camping on some islands that might be in Canada. When the fires kicked in, Governor Walz realized there were 2 YMCA camp groups that were up there that were trapped on the Canadian side. He calls Ford up in Ontario and says, "We need them." And Ford just says, "Give me a second." Hangs up the phone, immediately gets Air Force, all their crew out there. They rescued the one that was on they determined one of them was on like a sandbar. They're like, okay, not much can burn there. So I think we're okay.
God.
We're going to leave you there for the time being until we can get a boat out there to you. But they actually air-vac'd U.S. kids out of Canada. And, and we just had tragically, I just saw the story of the Canadian firefighter that just passed away fighting the fires I think it was in Michigan. And you have the audacity to attack these people. It's this cruddy conservative Republican energy policy that has led to us to have large swaths of this country and Canada and the world that can burn with just a little bit of one match and off it goes. And it's not Canada's fault. It's just, this is what happens when you get warned for 40 freaking years to stop burning fossil fuels and you say, wussy. And okay, all right, fine.
Look, it's the same guy who, well, not the same guy, but the same party that defunded the sensors near Camp Mystic when the flooding waters came through. There should have been alarms for that. So, of course, he doesn't care.
Well, and we joked about the Taco Bell. There used to be a much better situation. People have talked about the fact that they would have picked this up and figured out where exactly this problem was coming from 2 months ago if the old CDC was in action. And no, but I mean, this is just a prime example of why don't put idiots in charge.
You mean the guy who says he snorted cocaine off a toilet seat isn't the guy we should have in charge of our health department?
He's right now rubbing the iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell in his eyes going, "This makes me healthier." It's the worst superhero origin story ever, kids.
I don't think this story, I keep meaning to do a video and talk about this on the show, and there's so much that happens in the course of a day, as you know.
Yes.
It's the fire hose, stop. Did you catch this story? This woman who, her twin infants, 18 months old,
Idaho,
who died, and she blamed the vaccines.
Yes.
She was even on a podcast with RFK Jr., and she's been arrested and charged with their murder.
It seems like she murdered the 2 kids so she could go on the podcast and say that vaccines got them. 6 days after she murdered her own kids. Yes. And to give the Idaho law enforcement credit, they immediately okay, this doesn't add up. I mean, how would you even know it was the vaccine at this point? And she was so adamant it was. She's a horrible, horrible human being.
It's so disgusting. It's just that, and then there's so many things to talk about. I can't even, it's like trying to grab onto something because it happens so freaking quickly every single moment.
It is.
Whether it's, I do think that we need to make sure that he is always associated with explosive diarrhea. Just sorry. It should be synonymous.
Is that what we're calling J.D. Vance now?
Oh my God, the J.D. Vance with I don't even have to cook anymore. And I like to bake, and on a special occasion I will cook. But I have a whole army of people.
I'm J.D. Vance, and I need to take the 7th Fleet out to go get some donuts. You freaking idiot. Well, they just...
And then he says that Biden, his team was really bad at making him look normal. He was eating ice cream. I couldn't stand the way he eats ice cream, and it always made him look sensuous or something. He said something like that. Like, why are you popping a tent over Biden eating ice cream? To be fair, I took that line from someone on Stephanie Miller's show this morning. Okay. It was very funny to me. But yeah, J.D. Vance went on and on about how Biden couldn't look normal. This is the guy who stood in front of the donut case going, what are these? And like, remember, he couldn't even, he didn't know how to move his hands.
They're round with a hole in there. What's that all about? Like, what? Are you okay? It's not happening. A couch, dude. Back off.
Wait, was that the Santis? Maybe it was the Santis that was ordering the donuts. Who was the one that was ordering the donuts? I thought it was.
They're all just incapable.
These white doughboys, right?
I need to function like a normal human being. Well, hello there, humans. How are we today? Is this where the grocery store begins?
Oh my God! I don't know if we should be in the same room.
We definitely should. We definitely should be in the same room.
They're going to separate us.
No, you and I. This is the show. You are my bestie in Chicago for a reason, because I can tell that if you and I were actually in the same city, that this would be every one of our shows. We'd end up doing like 4 hours.
6 hours if they would make it. A marathon, 4 hours.
Would it really be 6 hours? I mean, it just they could just put mics on us.
I don't know. We do walking tours. I shouldn't tell you this out loud. We watch walking tours on YouTube because we dream of other places we want to live.
Okay.
And it goes, for me, it goes Edinburgh, Cork, the city of Cork in Ireland, and Minneapolis. My husband and I, but we wish the places that we want. I love my city, but there's things that you actually do much better when it comes to services for people with disabilities in Minnesota. It's extraordinary, the difference.
It's one of the things that just understand where Minnesota's at. There is an outright war right now about snow removal, which we do pretty good up there. We're not Canada. I mean, Canada is amazing. Watch that synchronized team. But there's a lot of intersections in the city proper that they just don't clear the snow effectively enough there. It's somewhat done, but it's not as good. And there is and those are the things, gosh, I really miss the days we could have good discussions about that. How much money do we spend? Do we go buy the equipment? Do we go do this stuff? It makes a lot of sense to do so. But, in this day and age where it's like, okay, we have to basically put armed guards on ballot boxes now. Okay, great. That's kind of where we're at.
We actually have a Plow the Sidewalks organization that talks a lot about this. I think Rochester, New York has a program where they plow the sidewalks. And I want to say a place in Canada where it does make a difference, in particular for
Montreal. If you want to see something that's amazing, you want government efficiency, watch a Montreal street cleaning crew, because they do the sidewalks, they do the street, they send in like 9 vehicles, and in 5 minutes they'll have 6 inches of snow and it's gone.
Wow.
It's amazing to watch.
I will. We're actually going. I have to talk to you about this because I am taking the family. That's also then 4th and 5th would be Montreal and Quebec. We're taking the family this summer.
You're gonna
love
it.
Or in September. We'll talk about that off the air and on the air.
Okay.
773.
Don't tell anybody.
There's too many things to talk about. There's texts coming in. People want to call in. Paul, can we open up the phone lines when we get a chance? 773-763-9278. When you call, you'll hear the lovely voice of Paul Hlavaty. Be nice to him or I will have words with you. 773-763-9278.
Paul's a lover, so be nice.
After this, with host of the Matt McNeil Show, it's the Matt McNeil guy. You hear him.
Am I about to do a Mission Impossible mask reveal here? It's like
he's the host of the Matt McNeil Show, but surprise, he's not actually Matt McNeil. It's so weird.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
Chance of scattered showers and storms early tonight, otherwise partly cloudy with a low temperature of 77 degrees. Chance of storms on Saturday, especially in the afternoon. Some of those could produce some heavy rainfall. High temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 100, but cooling off dramatically in the late afternoon when those storms move through. Sunday, areas of smoke and haze possible with sunshine and a high of 78 degrees. Monday, chance of thunderstorms with a high of 91. That's the latest Chicago weather update.
Right now, it's 92.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
The Ben Joravsky Show.
Brendan Riley, when he was, I think it was his rookie alderman, voted for Mayor Daley's parking meter deal, which is one of the most egregious deals in the history of Chicago politics, definitely in this century. It is the equivalent of the Bears drafting Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes. There's something that football fans can look forward to.
The Ben Joravsky Show, Saturdays at 5 p.m. on WCPT.
If you're purchasing a new home and working with Rocket Mortgage, listen very closely. Carly, 54, first-time home buyer, income 65 G's a year, contacted Rocket Mortgage for a mortgage. Rocket locked her into a 25-year fixed FHA loan at 6.125%, which sounds great until I reviewed Rocket's loan documents. Carly didn't know Rocket placed her into a 25-year fixed loan, not a 30-year fixed loan like she wanted. Carly also didn't know Rocket Mortgage charged her over $5,000 to lower her rate. I explained why I thought it wasn't in her financial best interest to buy down the rate, and that's why Team Hochberg, not Rocket Mortgage, will be helping Carly with her mortgage. Let's review. Rocket Mortgage placed Carly into a loan she didn't want and didn't understand why Rocket charged her to secure a lower rate. If you want to work with a lender you can trust, give us a call now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com, 855-563-2843 or visit our website 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
You're listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. I don't think we could actually capture how many conversations we just went through.
I don't believe that person is an Aztec god. And also, I do love good flapjacks. So anyway,
nice.
It's an eclectic conversation day here.
Yes, it all ends with Dr. Who and how many screwdrivers do you have? As many as it takes.
That is how I talk to women in bars.
David Tennant. See, this is where the problem is, having somebody in the studio and nobody knows what I'm talking about when I come back on air. But David Tennant, who played, I'm not sure which Doctor.
He played the 10th Doctor, and then he played the 14th Doctor.
David Tennant played the 14th Doctor?
He played the 14th Doctor.
What did I miss?
Well, he came back, and he did 3 specials, and they're all quite good.
I probably saw these. My husband's going to text me in a minute. You know this. They blend together. I like the woman doctor. I thought that she was great.
Jodie Whittaker. She was fantastic. Well, and she was also fantastic in Broadchurch, and
they're in together, which I haven't seen that yet.
It's if you have not watched the first season of Broadchurch, which is the season to watch, that is as gripping as television. Olivia Colman is in that, just amazing. And Tennant was on that, and he said, because of course he was coming off of Doctor Who, and he had said, oh, yeah, she could be the first main female lead. And so, and I thought she did brilliant. I thought she was wonderful.
The Brits have a way with dark dramas. We just finished last night Department Q.
I've not seen that one yet.
It is really good.
Okay.
It's the twists and turns, and I was like, It was very good. But it's dark.
They don't like their happy endings.
Ooh, good Lord. It's heavy. It's heavy. We do have some phone calls to take, but I feel like we were going to say something. Well, it's too late.
Okay.
Jim. We're sober. That's the scary thing. Hey, Jim, how are you doing?
All right, not too bad. Survived last night. That address by Trump rivaled the Gettysburg address. I have to admit, it was... And I wish they would have bet $100,000 that he said perish, but apparently he didn't say that, so I didn't win any money. But you were talking about ice. Now,
Hold on, Jim. I just have to tell you, one of my favorite things that someone said online was it was the Pettysburg address, which really made me laugh. The Pettysburg. So.
Did they say that?
It was a Scranton address.
Scranton is right. But anyway, here's a way to make a few bucks. If you're an insurrectionist and you're working for ICE, which I imagine a few of them are, double duty, they can make a bundle by a tell-all book about Holman and the $50,000 he grabbed on his side. I mean, there's a lot of juicy stuff in there. How many people they shot at? Why they shoot at them? Why are they letting them expire in these prisons? Who's the GO group? There's a lot there. So one of these insurrections, they throw a caution to the wind. Why not go all out? And Matt, I'm going to say about your show that I love, when you have that doctor from Minnesota on.
Oh, Dr. Joe.
Yeah, I'm ready to move into the Unabomber's house after you guys get through a conversation.
He is a delightful ray of sunshine.
Yeah, he sure is. He sure is. But I mean, he's fabulous. But on a serious note, I would love to hear the doctor talk about. He's in communication with doctors all over the world. But I would like to understand what they would see, like let's say 100 years from now, 200 years from now, what they would look at healthcare as a universal right and take money out of medicine and let the doctors be paid whatever price, like Germany pays them out of the coffers. You know what I mean? But anyway, you guys are terrific. You're terrific together. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
We've already gotten a request to do an overnight show. Would love to hear the both of you on an overnight radio show live, like Steve and Johnny used to be on WGN. Now that was that was a 6-hour show. Jim, did you?
Well, that would be the part. So first of all, no sleeping, no naps, and then just because by the time we get to like 4 a.m., we'll be like bats.
Yeah, that's the one thing is Jim needs is now to be up 24 hours a day listening to WCPT.
well, aren't you?
Sorry. He is. Good night. Take a nap, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
I mean, after our show, and not during Politics Bar or Matt McNeil Show.
And by the way, I am not
during Democracy Now.
Bruce Klopfleisch for me tonight because I am in town here in Chicago. FYI.
Bruce who?
Klopfleisch.
Klopfleisch.
He hosts one of their shows up there, and a political show. Very good guy, and so you'll enjoy his show.
It was so funny. I filled in for you one day, and
thank you.
My pleasure. But I filled in for you, and I wasn't in this studio. And it's funny, like how you need your sort of routines. And so it was really weird to be in another studio, like with nobody there, like just me and a computer. I'm like, I guess I'm doing the Matt McNeil Show.
You are technically. They lock me in a little dungeon in the basement.
So
hi. I'm just going to talk to myself here for 2 hours.
Look at this. Our guest coming up. Can you see this? Our guest coming up in just a little bit from Indivisible. Skokie has brought a puppy into the scene, and you have to wait a few minutes because we still have some phone calls to get to. I know Roosevelt was demanding that we open up the phone lines. This is Roosevelt from Chicago. Hey, Roosevelt.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Thank you for taking my call, Patty.
Of course.
So I want to jump on this World Cup thing. I don't know. You guys probably don't know this, but there's two controversies going on when it comes down to this World Cup. There's a reporter. His name is Eduardo Feynman. He's an Argentine reporter, and this is what he said. I detest Mexicans with my whole soul. And he said that Mexicans are jealous Mexico is jealous of Argentina.
Yeah.
He also is the manner that he said it. He said it, you could see the hatred in him. There's a video of him. And he also said that they have a better team than Mexico. I agree with him there, that Argentina is better than Mexico, obviously, because Mexico lost. However, there's another one. A reporter, can I say the name of the channel? Because it's a Spanish station.
Go ahead.
Sí.
A local channel, Univision. This reporter from Ecuador, she posted on her social media, she was jumping up and down when Mexico lost against England. She wasn't caught. She posted it. She was proud because Mexico beat Ecuador. but she works for Univision. We all know that the majority of the people that watch all these channels in Spanish are Mexican. The way she catches her check is because of Mexicans, because the majority is Mexican in this country. So now they're apologizing, but you can tell that they're not sincere. And this hasn't aired out in the English channels or in the news. And so for that reason, I hate the people that talk like that, because it brings on these things. And then, there's people on social media, they're taking them to task, a lot of Mexicans, because the way he said it, you could tell he meant it.
Yeah,
he hated Mexicans.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for calling, Roosevelt. Good to hear from you, my friend. Enjoy watching the World Cup this weekend. We've got to take a break because we have a guest coming up. We have one of our friends from Indivisible, Skokie-Morton, Grove-Lincolnwood. Loni's going to be on the line with us to talk about a vigil that's coming up for ICE victims this weekend. We're in studio with Matt McNeil, the host of, oddly enough, the Matt McNeil Show here on WCPT weekdays 9 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
Cooking with Brittany. No.
It's so weird. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. And all of you joining us digitally, we appreciate you on Facebook, YouTube, and now Monaco Brewing Company's Substack. We'll be right back after this.
Check up on health with Chris Whitting. All of us can use some advice on how to get in shape. Sean Birch is a fitness and motivation expert and a multiple world record holder in extreme sports events.
It has to be like a lifestyle change. If you want to get in shape at anything, if you want to lose 10 pounds or you want to do like a half marathon, it has to be a mental thing. You have to find out what your goals and your dreams are in life, your really deep goals and dreams in life. After you've developed those and you know what you're going for, these goals, say, okay, let's get excited about exercise. To me, fitness in America has become a routine. You have to have the mental, a nutritional program, and a physical program, all three of those things, in order to live your life to the utmost fullest.
Sean says instead of constantly dieting, change your lifestyle to include whole foods, all natural and organic foods, fiber and lean protein, clean carbohydrates and essential fats, and of course, exercise. With Checkup on Health, I'm Chris Whitting.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal and KKNW 1150 in Seattle. And we are so thrilled to have in studio with us Matt McNeil from the Matt McNeil Show here on WCPT weeknight evenings, 9 p.m. And thank you. You can see him if you're watching on our live stream on Facebook. And you are here. And I should probably I should bring on our guest. We have Loni Ulrich from Indivisible, Skokie-Morton, Grove-Lincolnwood. Hey, Loni, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I'm a big fan.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to find the button to show you. I'm not able to pull up the other screen. That was my fault. I should have done a tech check so I could show you Matt McNeil's face. But that's Matt McNeil's voice. How you doing? Loni, I know that a lot of folks want to do something. And watching these videos and now learning more about one of the ICE agents who murdered Johann Sebastian Duran Guerrero, his wife has come out and said how abusive he was, that she can't believe he was ever even given a gun. And we've seen this over and over again with the actions of ICE agents. Tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing and what you want people to know about this weekend.
So we're doing a lot of work with Indivisible. It's a national group. I'm sure everyone's heard of it. We are doing everything possible to preserve our midterm elections, which means postcard parties, canvassing, telephone banking. We partner with other groups. Indivisible Evanston is partnering with us this weekend. We are doing a vigil this weekend. It was prompted by my visit to Broadview last week, where they did a vigil after the Lorenzo Salgado Araujo murder. So there was a group called Grita Latino who was partnering with us this time, and they inspired me to do this. And I'm in the process of making 140 tombstones because there's been 140 known people killed by ICE and many more that we do not know their names.
That's
So we're honored.
You go ahead. You want to honor those individuals. Go ahead.
Right, no, go ahead. Ask your question.
I was just going to say, I just was watching another video, and there's so many. The thing is that we're going to have evidence is one thing. It doesn't bring any solace really in this moment of sheer terror. But I was just watching a man who was being abducted in Texas, and just a Udemy over and over again. He's on the ground, and one of the agents has his gun drawn on a guy who's already face down in a parking lot. And so I just don't think. I know that there are a lot of people who empathize and put themselves in those shoes, but in particular, those of us who, my mother is from Mexico. I'm terrified. You know, she's feisty. She'll get into people's faces at 91, but she looks like she's 70. Right? It's terrifying.
Mine's from Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
she came here as an immigrant, and came here with nothing, and she is still alive. She's 93 years old. She's a medical doctor, an MD. Saving many people's lives who would right now probably, would ICE people would be. She doesn't ask questions. She would take care of them. Yeah. You never know when you end up in an emergency room who's going to treat you, right?
Right. I just, the breadth and depth of how horrifying this all is. And I think that going to a vigil like this gives people that they want community too. And they also want to know what to do next. And that's the harder part, right? Is because we don't have power right now except for being witnesses and observers. And to that, they've made it very clear they're willing to kill them too.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I just say, vigil is so, it's to honor them. It's not a protest, so when I was at Broadview, people were yelling, things out at us. And I asked the people that attend to think about the people who have died, and that this is a solemn occasion, and we're there just to honor their lives, and, to show people that that we recognize them, and that we do not accept what's going on in this country. So, it's just, honestly, I think it's so unintimidating, because if people are afraid to go to a protest, you don't have to be afraid here, because what are we doing? We're just standing there silently respecting them.
Yes. And where's the event being held and what time? So, and where can people get more information?
So it's on McCormick Avenue in Lincolnwood. I want to thank the Lincolnwood Police Department. They've been very accommodating and to help us get this done. We'll be meeting on Pratt on the park side. So we'll be standing on the grass right there. And we'll be holding each and every person who's been assassinated by ICE there with their, where they're from and their names on our posters.
And what time is this? What time are you gathering?
Is it from 12 to 1:30?
Okay, you're gathering from 12 to 1:30
yes.
at McCormick near Pratt. And I'm familiar with the area. And I know that, again, and you make a good point about the police departments. It's when you go to Broadview, and Matt, the amount of artillery that is at Broadview, where it's a detention center. And the other thing that people don't get when unless you're there, Loni, maybe you've seen, is the facility is right next to train tracks with like freight trains that are going by all the time. And like, it kind of caught my breath because it just reminded me, like, I can't imagine being in there. There were many people who'd been there for weeks, months without having any sunlight. And then you hear these trains coming by. And for anybody who knows what the history is of in Germany and the prison camps and being put on trains, it all is just kind of overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought to myself, I wonder if they could hear us. I wonder if they could hear every time, when ICE agent at the end, people got, gathered and they had speeches, and at the end they were yelling, and screaming in support of them and against ICE. And I just thought, I wonder if they could hear us.
I know. I wonder the same thing.
That there are people, they're not forgotten.
Yeah, and there was a reason. I mean, and they continue, and I can't help but think, Matt, sometimes that there's an energy to escalate things is what kind of the last few weeks have felt like again, because they had kind of flown under the radar, and it feels like they're gearing up for something more of this.
When you look at a bunch of idiots that have been basically given badges and guns and told to do whatever they want, this is what's inevitably going to be happening. There's no consequences for any of this stuff, and that's the important thing. You protest the actions of these individuals. You honor, like this vigil, you honor the memory of these people. And the important part, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, is that the making sure that the one thing that people want to do, the people that are committing the crimes want to do, is get people to forget about this and just let bygones be bygones. And we cannot do that. We have to make sure that a crime against humanity is treated as it should be, and in turn that we're holding these people accountable even after, hopefully we have a change in regime here and all these things do change, that you cannot just say, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, you hold these people damn accountable for murdering people, assaulting people, taking people's human rights away. And I think that's a good part of a vigil, is making sure people stay vigilant, and that they eventually make sure that eventually crimes and courts are going to be chiming in here, and we need to make sure that that does happen.
Johann Sebastian wasn't doing anything but driving. He was driving while brown, right? That's all he did. And, I have a 26-year-old son that could have been my son. It could be anybody's child. And, the problem is we're not getting due process. The 14th Amendment from the 1860s guarantees us the right to be heard in court. And they're not getting that. They're not even getting an investigation. I don't know if you saw, like on the news this week, you saw the street sweepers come by at 3 p.m. to wipe off the blood.
Yeah.
His blood that was on the ground. All the evidence gone. This is not America. I spell America with a K now.
And it's amazing to me how many people will scream that the Constitution only applies to American citizens. In the due process, there's nothing that says, because here's the thing: how do you know whether or not someone is an American citizen? What their reason is for being here? What papers? I mean, like, that's the point of due process, is to find out the information.
So that, with your rationale, I mean, if you're a visitor coming in from France, right? If you come here for a week to do see the Eiffel Tower, the Sears Tower, the Wilson Tower, whatever it's called now.
Sears.
Do you not have rights then? If you're a tourist, you don't have rights. I mean, you're not a citizen either, right?
The worst people who have ever lived will always try to split hairs about who's human and who is not. Yeah. It has always been the stance. I've said this before. Patty's heard me say this. People have said, "What race are you part of?" The human race, you moron. We're all humans. Yep. There's no second-tier class of humans. And no matter how much your little racist ideology wants to ride with that, it does not exist. We're all human beings, for God's sakes, and that should be it. And you guys claim to be Christians. How dare you? Exactly.
I'm a prejudiced person. I'm a prejudice against assholes. Right? You don't have to
jerks. I hate jerks too.
We're not supposed to say that word.
No, it's not. Sorry. We're not a podcast.
I feel like I should hit it again. I think I got it.
Those rascals.
I don't want to. I don't want to edit anybody, but there'll be some editing there. So for folks who want to join, by the way, and not that you're wrong, for folks that want to join, not just this event, this vigil on Sunday, which will be from 12 to 1:30 on McCormick near Pratt in Lincolnwood with Indivisible, Skokie-Morton, Grove, and Lincolnwood. Tell folks a little bit about how they can get involved and whether they live in that community or not. Maybe they just like going to Skokie, Morton, Grove, Lincolnwood area.
I'm the type of person who involves anybody. Any group that you join, I don't care. It's better that we don't want to be in a silo. You want to get other ideas, whether it's red, wine, and blue. I'm big on Indivisible. There's a new group that just came out, Indivisible Rogers Park, West Ridge.
Okay.
They just launched on the 15th of July. They had 200 people there. They're so organized. I wish I was like that. They're amazing. And they're also co-hosting this along with, like I said, Grita Latino, who has a website that they asked me to, if I may, and it's GritaLatinoAddison.com if you want to contribute there. And they do provide services to people who are immigrants who are in trouble right now.
Outstanding.
I know a lot of those groups right now. And you know what's great about now is you can see who are the jerks in our world, but you also see so many wonderful people, and I'm just so grateful to be part of these organizations.
Absolutely, and we're so glad for the work that you do. And folks, if you're looking for a way to get involved, if you feel helpless, one way to feel a part of something, a movement, as Loni was saying earlier, we also want to protect our midterm elections.
Yep.
Because as we heard last night, the beating of the drum to delegitimize anything that, unless the Republicans win, then it wasn't rigged. Is basically the logic.
They rigged the last election, and you won every office. Okay.
No, there is no logic. By the way, we were talking about explosive diarrhea. Not in this conversation, but we were earlier, and someone said we should call it Donorrhea. So I feel bad for Donna.
I've got a Trump.
I've got explosive Trumperia. I think Trumperia. No, that sounds like a cocktail. I don't know.
I'm starting to feel a little Donald.
At any rate, Loni, where's the best place for folks to get more information about the work that you all do?
Okay, so we're on Facebook. Indivisible Skokie-Morton Grove-Lincolnwood is on Facebook. We have we're supposed to have a Blue Sky, but I think we're being remiss on that one. And I do have a newsletter. So also would like to give a shout out to Indivisible Evanston. They're our sister. They helped us get launched. Any of these organizations, we are doing things. I'm having a postcard party in 2 weeks. I will be announcing the date soon, and that's to Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin.
Excellent. Thank you for all the work that you do. And again, the vigil is this Sunday from noon to 1:30 in Lincolnwood on McCormick near Pratt. And that's near the path with the sculpture walk, right?
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Stay off the public parking. And I ask that everybody ignore comments, rise above.
Yes.
And,
yes, absolutely. Always. That's why I show up as a handmaid. I'll talk to you later, my friend, because I can't say anything. What? I didn't say that out loud, did I? Thank you so much, Loni. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
Bye, Loni. Bless you guys all down there.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a break here, and we'll continue our conversation with Matt McNeil, the host of the Matt McNeil Show. More on WCPT, KKNW, and all of our friends tuning in digitally. We appreciate you.
WCPT replay.
We are proud to have U.S. Representative Nikki Brzezinski with us here this morning.
I think we should be talking to voters about the fact that it is Democrats that are fighting to make your life better. We are the party that is protecting the working people, the retirees in this country. It is not the other side who is standing with the MAGA billionaires in this country, trying to get them a lower tax rate. That's who they are. We are for fighting to improve your everyday life, and we have plans that are going to do that. And I think we need to focus on the everyday costs that people are facing. It's truly what I believe Trump sold as a snake oil salesman to voters that he was going to tackle on day one. And you and I both know that that's the last thing he's been doing. He hasn't done a damn thing.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying, where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. In Texas, the rain is expected to taper off, but it's been a punishing week. Jennifer King has a report.
Downpours dumped more than 2 feet of rain across parts of south and central Texas over the past week, swelling rivers, cutting off communities, and washing out roads. In Uvalde, Texas, where a section of bridge collapsed due to flooding on the Nueces River, Governor Greg Abbott thanked responders who rushed to rescue hundreds of people trapped by high waters.
Cleanup is going to begin. The state is going to work with local officials to expedite things like debris removal and to accelerate the rebuilding process.
Miguel Vasquez was nearly swept away as water rushed into his Uvalde home.
I dipped down and grabbed onto the dirt, and I already have pushed me, but I see that fence. I said, hell yeah. If it pushes me some more, I'll back up on the fence and I won't drown.
As the water recedes, residents like Sandra Gomez are returning to a messy cleanup.
Mud is all throughout the house.
I'm Jennifer King.
Smoky air is the issue for millions in the Great Lakes, Northeast, and Mid-Atlantic. It's coming from wildfires burning in Minnesota and Canada. Laura Shapiro lives in New York City.
You're smelling terrible things. You can feel it a little bit in your breathing, and you just know that it's not good to breathe in all these toxins.
In Cleveland, tonight's game between the Guardians and the Pittsburgh Pirates has been postponed due to air quality concerns, and this concern the smoke could affect Sunday's World Cup final. Air quality warnings are expected to remain in effect at least through Saturday. And there have been no reports of severe damage, but an earthquake with a magnitude 7.3 struck southern Mexico's Pacific coast on the border with Guatemala. The U.S. Geological Survey reports at least 10 aftershocks up to a magnitude 6. And Democratic members of Congress are demanding answers about Homeland Security's vetting and training of immigration enforcement officers. This after it was disclosed the ICE officer involved in a deadly shooting in Maine this week had a history of mental health issues and violent behavior. This is AP News. World Cup rituals.
In a bid to help his nation's beloved soccer team secure its second consecutive title, Argentine President Javier Milei says he won't be attending the World Cup final, instead choosing to view Sunday's match between Spain and Argentina from home. Milei added that he'll be wearing the same heavy jacket, too. Many Argentines have rituals that require them to stick to the same exact routine if the team is winning. In one widely shared video from this World Cup, a group of fans began reading from the Bible just as Argentina started scoring against Egypt, obliging them to repeat the ritual at every match since. One common ritual to impact the rival team involves freezing figures of players or pieces of paper with the opponent's names on them. Fans and players around the world cling to superstitions they believe can bring good luck to their team or misfortune to their opponents, reflecting the intensity with which many watch their national team. I'm Walter Ratliff.
More stories at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
Chance of scattered showers and storms early tonight, otherwise partly cloudy with a low temperature of 77 degrees. Chance of storms on Saturday, especially in the afternoon, and some of those could produce some heavy rainfall. High temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 100, but cooling off dramatically in the late afternoon when those storms move through. Sunday, areas of smoke and haze possible with sunshine and a high of 78 degrees. Monday, chance of thunderstorms with a high of 91. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 90.
Many of our U.S. veterans and service members face challenges: mental health struggles, housing obstacles, employment, food insecurity, and social isolation, to name just a few. I'm Bob Woodruff. My family and I started the Bob Woodruff Foundation in 2006 after I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq. Our service members had my back that day, and we need to have theirs now more than ever. At the Bob Woodruff Foundation, we raise awareness about the tough challenges veterans and military families face and invest in solutions to help support them in the next chapter of their lives. And with one solution comes the next. We solve the housing situation, we increase employment opportunities. We solve employment problems, we address food insecurity. We solve food insecurity, we impact physical and mental health issues. Learn more about our work at bobwoodrufffoundation.org/success.
Chicago's progressive talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing asses says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. Matt McNeil, the host of the Matt McNeil Show, joins me in the studio.
Hello.
And sometimes I like to drop really bizarre things on people and then say, here, let's start talking now.
Well, do you know why I'm in town? Do you know why I came on down?
I don't know
The
why
main
you're
reason, Rush is in concert.
Oh, my God.
I am in town. Doctor Who, Rush, and Model Railroad, you say. It's...
I'm trying to. So Paul's laughing possibly because I'm desperately trying to. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I have an appalling lack of musical knowledge.
Oh, don't worry.
But
that's
I do know
okay.
that Rush is a Gen X band. I can tell you that much.
No, it is a Gen X band. It is a band put together, 3 Canadians. Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, Neil Peart came in.
That's exactly what I thought. Knew it.
And Neil passed away. And Neil was considered one of the greatest drummers of all time. And when it had always been the 3 of them. Outside the first album was a guy named John Rusty, but it had always been the 3 of them. And Geddy Lee is possibly the greatest bass player that's ever played. And you have the best drummer in Alex Lifeson, although may not be the best guitarist, one of the most experimental and talented guitarists I've ever seen. So it really was an amazing band, and I loved them. And I remember as a kid listening to Permanent Waves when my friend introduced that, and that was for me the first music I had that became my music. I wasn't just listening to my parents' radio like this.
Okay.
And it became that, and it became my comfort food. It became my soul. It became that meal your mom would make, and they would enjoy it. Neil passed away, and Neil died. And he just had health issues, and he passed away, and that was it. And it was that feeling of, I'm not going to have my mother's food anymore, that sort of thing. Well, apparently so the story is, and the way they said it, they were at a funeral and they ran into Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney was there, and he said, "You guys are musicians. You got to play music and that sort of thing." Now that is the worst.
Nice. I'm glad you reached for it, though.
That's like most of my impressions end up sounding like Dracula.
Seinfeld, though.
It's like, well, what's the John Ringo? What's the deal with these lyrics? Yeah. Oh, George. Play, be less guitar-y. That must be a bad episode. Anyway, like I said, I don't do impressions.
The key to McCartney is you always have to make your statements sound like questions.
And that's Michael Caine, too.
What's the deal?
Yeah, Michael Caine, too. Anyway, so he apparently ran into them and said, "You guys are musicians. You play music. This is what you do." And so they kind of said, "Okay, well, we like the intent, but what can we find?" They found this amazing drummer. She is out of Germany. She is absolutely phenomenal, Annika, and she is amazing to watch. And so they said they brought her in. They started playing some music, and then I thought we might be able to do this. And so they did, and they went on tour. They announced the shows. They did not come up to Minneapolis. Chicago is the nearest. I said, I'm going to Chicago. The tickets were available. I'm going to Chicago. And so we came on down, saw the show last night. Absolutely fantastic.
Where was it?
It was over at United Center.
Oh my God, how great!
And so I was in the upper deck, but I was row one, so I got some nice photos and all that stuff, some nice videos, and yeah, it was you go through life, and I know that this is kind of adding a little bit more over importance to it, but it really is. It is my comfort food, and it's like when you come to the realization is like, okay, I'm not going to have my mom's cooking anymore, and so you just kind of go and deal with it, and then all of a sudden, nope, she's back. She's back, and you can have it again, and you're like, oh, Getty and Alex, I missed you so much. I had missed you so much, and so yeah, I was very happy, and so that's why I came into town.
That's amazing. I love. And you're so. Do they have any opening bands?
Well, no, they don't. They've got so many songs, and it's the curse of being Rush is that everyone wants to hear all the songs, and they want to play all the. They have to really trim back the songs they do because everyone wants to hear everything. And it was, you talk about bands like Journey and Styx and REO Speedwagon and stuff that came out of that same genre, that same era. And they're all fine bands. They're good.
Come sail away. Come sail away. Heard it from a friend who... Sorry.
They would put an album out, 5 years after their peak, and no one wanted to hear anything. They just wanted to hear the classics.
Yeah.
And he said, these guys put out albums still, and everyone in the audience wants to hear the new album. And he says, it was wonderful to see them last night.
That's so much fun. And was it a good audience?
It was a packed house.
Nice.
I mean, it is really hard to walk into a room of views. It's like, wait a second. These are all like me.
It's so funny.
I'm not as attractive as I thought I looked.
I kind of love that. So we say use, and I love that you said use as a you, me. Yeah. But like use is a plural of you here in Chicago, by the way. Yeah. Did use have a good time?
It's a good time. It was good. It was a good time out there.
That's wonderful.
It was nice. No, it really was comfort food, and it was just brilliant. I'm so glad. If they're I don't know if you can get tickets. They play Saturday, they play Monday, they play Wednesday at United, and if you can go get them, go. You'll enjoy it.
That's cool. Excellent. Nice review of Rush's performance at the United Center over here in Rosemont, Illinois.
That was my 9th Rush show. I've seen Rush in concert 9 times, starting with Grace Under Pressure.
Trying to think. So mine was Indigo Girls. That's who I used to follow. I love Indigo Girls.
When you put on an album now, do you still just, yep, I'm listening to the whole album?
So I like so much music, but yeah, I would say Indigo Girls I definitely could. Like Galileo is one of my favorites. But at any rate, it's so funny because I actually got to meet them. They were doing autographing at a Barnes & Noble. And I've told this story before, but just so that I would get a little attention, I maybe wore overalls and construction boots so that I would get a little bit more attention from Amy and Emily. My husband was with me. It was so funny. He was like, I've never felt so invisible in my entire life.
You become.
I wanted to flirt with the Indigo Girls. I'm not lying. I think I'm being very straightforward about that.
I'm
such a big fan of theirs.
It is, but that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's someone who means something to you, that they were able to bring in talent and music and recording and lyrics, and they brought it all together, and it means something to you. And in this day and age, trust me, you know this, I know this. How many times I'm turning it off. I didn't watch that orange buffoon last night because I was watching Getty and Alex over at United Center.
Yeah.
And that was, can I just tell you how that was the justification? I don't have to watch you.
It's so.
Well, there's a word that I just recently heard that I almost used there.
Oh dear, yeah. I think I've reloaded for another shot there.
But he's a jerk.
I had somebody on my Facebook page tell me that, basically that I couldn't criticize what he said because I hadn't watched it. As though you're supposed. I'm sorry, I can get a transcript.
Okay, let me do it for you.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a god. Where should be? Are
we rating the impressions by Matt McNeil?
It's better than the McCartney. Let's just be honest about it. I love the Ukrainian media picture of him.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Okay, no, this is from back when they were meeting.
Oh, okay.
And because it's clear that the White House controls how they take pictures of Trump, and that they have to take him from certain angles. And the Ukrainians did not get this message because he looks like kind of like a centaur, only he doesn't have the front legs of the horse. It's just that big old lower back of a horse on top of that weird body of his. And I'm like, he does not look good. And of course, and is Harry Potter coming after him?
I have to say, by the way, it makes me crazy. I don't know if I think you're like me, where I have sense memory of things that happen throughout my life, and whether it's my own life or it's like what's happening in the news. But in 2016, weeks before the election, he said he wanted China and Russia to hack her emails because he wanted them to find 30,000 emails. And he said, Russia, if you're listening. And then within hours, United States intelligence said that there was an uptick in activity with efforts to hack our systems.
Oh, he is corrupt and horrible. And when you're Loni and she came on in here, and we have to remember all this ICE stuff. We have to. But there are a few things that are going to consume us the next few years, and they should.
Yep.
And that is basically ripping his freaking name off of everything, including the building downtown, because he likely raped children. And this is the idea that he has been able to keep this under wraps and keep this quiet, and people are ignoring it, is an absolute embarrassment within our society and within our news and within everything. He is horrible human being. There's number one. Number two, the grift, the cheating, the stealing, the money, I want you to give me a plane. I want you to give me $1 million. I want you to give me this. Just outright grift, and outright just ugliness. That's there. We get into the violations of the humanity, the human rights, the murder of all these people that ICE has done, but everything. I mean, the threatening, the pettiness, all of it. I want to make it to where there's not a single Republican who can show their damn face, because their entire thing is going to have to be defended. And because, when Trump is no longer walking this mortal coil, we all have our final time here. When that eventually does happen and the tidal wave of reality comes on out there, he's not going to have a library. We're not going to allow it.
I get that. And the thing is that the cult has such a grip on folks.
Oh, yeah.
And the freedom they've been given to be as hateful as many of them apparently always wanted to. I mean, I feel so naive in this moment in history going, oh my God, there are people that actually believe this is okay to murder someone in front of their 3-year-old child.
There was a bumper sticker. I was out early this year. I went and drove out and I went and saw some of the national parks. I was out in Montana and Wyoming. I saw a bumper sticker in Wyoming. I would rather have a serial sex abuser than a Democrat.
Yeah.
And I said, if you are seriously in this kind of brainwashed, I've talked about that the person could walk in on Trump. The old argument I would say before the reality came in. The old argument I'd say is that someone could walk in on Trump having sex with their spouse, and the first thing they would say is, damn Democrats. And that's who they are. Now it's if you walked into your house and found Donald Trump violating your child, they would say, oh, I'm sorry, sir, let me close the door. And that is who these people are. And when you get so broken, the real Trump derangement syndrome is to be able to look at a festering pile of waste and be able to say, look at that delicious filet mignon. And that is exactly, speaking of Taco Bell.
There is Trump protection syndrome. I mean, they're just obsessed with Evan no matter what he does.
Exactly.
No matter what he does. Let's take a break here. I want to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to Pride on those images. Thank you to our sponsors. Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to Pride Coffee.
A chalupa, you say.
I think that's why I chose them first. PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. You can put an order for the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you have ever had. That's PrideCoffeeRoasters.com. They'll be at the Skokie Farmers Market this weekend and back at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market with us.
Yay.
Next week, 2nd and 4th Sundays, right by me, and I'm a volunteer there every single time, except for the ones I don't make. I also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar and make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. He'll walk you through the whole process, and now he's working with Illinois Solar for All to help you with the financing so that you can go green to save green. Source.solar. We also want to thank our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company, of course, those of you watching on Substack. Thank you so much for tuning in, and go to MinocquaBrewingCompany.com, and you will enjoy perhaps ordering a 4-pack, 4 packs of hold on a second, Fascist Tears. That's one of my favorites, a West Coast IPA. Just an example. We'll take a break here and continue our conversation with the host of the Matt McNeil Show, Matt McNeil. He's in studio here right now. And then you're going to hear his fill-in host later. It's going to be weird. It's going to be very meta. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. What? More after this on Facebook, YouTube, and Substack as well.
WCPT Replay.
We're joined by Congressman Mike Quigley.
When I got sworn in 16 years ago, the first person that came up to me, of all things, was a Republican named Mark Kirk, who later became our senator. And he did give good advice. He said, the only thing that gets done here is when we meet in the middle. So there's a lot of truth to that. But, what I tell folks who are looking from afar, not looking at what this president's doing, moving us toward more of an autocracy, is you meet in the middle when the middle is reasonable, right? And you both benefit. That's a two-party democracy at work. But when one side takes the most extreme positions, it's not my job to go way out there to meet them.
Yeah.
They have to come back to the norm.
Keep listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. Cancer screening tests can help keep the person you love around longer by detecting changes before cancer develops, or catch it early when it may be easier to treat. And many tests are available for free or are covered by insurance. It's time to sound like a broken record. Tell all your friends and family, I love you. Get screened. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget, to ask for Hawk and
Or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I have in studio with me Matt McNeil, who I've been in radio for 12 years, and my understanding is that you should never assume that you have a sense of of microphones always. You should always assume microphones are always on.
Yes.
You know, it's actually how I kind of got let go from my previous employment. Kind of, there were things behind the scenes, but there were these really horrible texts coming in, and we had a MAGA engineer at the other place who would sabotage not just my equipment when I was doing remotes and things like that, but other people's. Right? And like yelled at one of our engineers and said, and this engineer shared with me that this guy was sabotaged because the MAGA guy would yell at him because he was taking shifts. Are you the one taking the food out of my child's mouth? Like just yelling at him, right? So
yes, it looked delicious.
Yeah. So I suspected that the texts were coming from him.
Yes.
And this is I rarely have ever told the story because it was in the news and everything that so this person was saying really horrible things and including an F-bomb, right? And so I wanted to go catch the engineer texting these things on my screen. So I go, and they actually told me, like, they could see it on the cameras, that I put my headphones on my microphone, and then I left the studio to go catch him. And then one of my guests got up to see why was I reacting this way, and then yelled out one of the words that was on the screen as my headphones fell off my microphone onto the board and hit the mic, and it was live during the news broadcast.
Hello.
Yes, that's how I got. That was that was part of the whole chain of events. So. No. I'm just saying, like, with the dump, we were talking earlier about the dump button.
Oh,
and,
yes.
like, being mindful of, like, everything that we're doing on the air, especially now with the things that he said last night when he was saying that basically he owns the airwaves, and he was mad. Trump was mad that NBC and ABC wouldn't air his speech.
I own the airwaves. You are the saddest human being I've ever seen. He is just such a pathetically weak man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's embarrassing that this is how it has the Republican Party come down to this. Doesn't mean I used to like the Republicans and their stances. I mean, we used to disagree, but we used to go and work things out. You guys have betrothed yourself to the narcissistic man, baby, child of all time. This is a man. There's an old term in the military that we used to have, is that you need to kind of get your caboose kicked every once in your life because it kind of puts you in place. This is a guy who not only has never had to learn a lesson, never had to take responsibility, never had to face any consequences. Yeah. And you guys act like he is some sort of God. You are all weak, pathetic people, and I have no problem. I am going to never let you remind it, because you mentioned last segment. Yes, there are the betrothed that do love this guy. That 20% of this population that has basically, because they feel as if they're going to be able to be racist and say the R word again and all these things, that he is their true God. The reality is that is a minority. The majority has to wake up. I think they are waking up finally. And I'm never going to let you guys ever forget this. We are in an election cycle, and it's the usual election cycle. So, where Republicans, who have been horrible to all of us, they shut down health care for people, the one big beautiful bill, ICE agents, all these. They keep talking about how they love what ICE agents are doing, especially as the blood of victims is running in the street. They keep doing this, and then all of a sudden comes election time, and the news media allows them to reinvent themselves as, well, golly gosh, I'm here working on a clean park initiative. And you never once challenge them. Meanwhile, Democrats can be out there doing all this good, fighting the good fight and all these things. And the first thing out there is, well, is there a schism? Is there a canyon? Is there a gap now within the Democrat?
Oh, yeah.
But they're not fighting each other. The failure, not only the failure of the Republicans, the failure of the news media to basically have any sort of level of equality is just obnoxious right now.
It really is. And this has to lead us into Rapid Transmit, because we have a couple callers on the line.
Welcome to Rapid
and we don't have too much time
Transmit.
for them.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Hold on a second. Doors hold. There we go.
Doors open on the left at
Hey.
WCPT.
Hey, Todd, you got 20 seconds. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hi, about these ICE cops saying that people are trying to run into them. That's BS, because all they got to do is look at the area cameras, the ATMs, parking lots, businesses, and we got to get tough with these guys and prove without a doubt that they're wrong.
Yes, I agree with you. Take care of yourself, Todd. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Todd.
Doors closing.
Let's get to Paul in Seattle. Roughly the amount of time that we've got left here.
Hey, Paul.
What's on your... Hold on a second. Let me open the doors for you. Sorry. Go ahead. 1 second.
Welcome to Rapid Transmit.
Go ahead. Paul.
Hey, the fires. Just a little schadenfreude. Welcome to the club. This is what we've been getting every summer, pretty much every summer for the last 20 years. And I'm glad that the upper Midwest is finally getting it now every year, because it's going to have to be a wake-up call. Look, there were 4 Republicans in Michigan who sent a letter to Mark Carney telling him to get your forest management act together or else. Well, the fires are in the Northwest Territories, which is, let me tell you, over 500,000 square miles, and nobody lives there. There are no roads. There are 45,000 people in the Northwest Territories. That's a density of about less than one person for every 10 square miles. That's like 20 people living in the city of Chicago. That's the density. It's not forest management. That's God's country. It's climate change, because up there, which is about 1,800 miles north of where you are, it has reached over 100 degrees.
Well, and okay, so I not just again, and thanks for the call on this. I'll say this: this is not a welcome to the party pal situation. Minneapolis and Minnesota has had this basically. Is that 7 of the last 9 years we've had extreme health air quality issues because of Canadian wildfires. We have had in Minnesota, which is a big problem, and Chicago's gotten quite a bit of that smoke as well. It's not something there. It is something which the problem is not that other people haven't been getting this. The problem is it's the continual use of fossil fuels, and we're warming the planet up. And unless we change this, this is the new reality until Canada's completely burned up.
Thank you for calling, Paul. Doors are closing. Oh, I forgot to do this one. Hold on a second. That was our...
Okay.
This is the final stop for Rapid Transmit.
Okay.
Please continue to listen to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Welcome to the train, the Patty train. Wait, that sounds weird. Let's clean the slate. Let's take a break here. You know what? I'll do it this way. Saturday, it's the Democracy Stupid. Edwin Eisendrath's guests are Bill Scheer, politics editor at Washington Monthly, Isha Pendiker, senior reporter for Maine Morning Star, Ben Wickler. Ben Wickler is going to be on tomorrow.
Nice.
Do you think he should have been Ben instead of Ken for the DNC? Ben was they were running for that chair of the DNC.
I'll reserve judgment on that.
All right, then fine. That's tomorrow on It's Democracy Stupid. Saturdays from 1 to 4 p.m. Central here on WCPT, and then Sunday on Out Chicago, Ellen Miller is going to be joined by guest co-host Kathy Voltmer, and their guests are Tim Rose, artistic director of Evanston's Fleetwood Jordan Theater, and we also have J.D. Caudill, director of Babes and Blabes Theater Company, Yo-Ho, playing July 19th through August 29th at the Edge off Broadway. It's Out Chicago, Sundays from 11 to 1 p.m. Central here on WCPT. And also right now we're about to welcome in a moment our guests from AFS. Some students are going to join us in studio with me and Matt McNeil. More in a moment on WCPT.
Patty Train!
It's Batsy boxes to you.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
Chance of scattered showers and storms early tonight, otherwise partly cloudy with a low temperature of 77 degrees. Chance of storms on Saturday, especially in the afternoon. Some of those could produce some heavy rainfall. High temperature of 91 degrees. The heat index as high as 100, but cooling off dramatically in the late afternoon when those storms move through. Sunday, areas of smoke and haze possible with sunshine and a high of 78 degrees. Monday, chance of thunderstorms with a high of 91. That's the latest Chicago weather update.
Right now, it's 89.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Hi, I'm Kevin Love. Sony Pictures Animation's film GOAT is out now, and we've created something special to go with it. Inspired by the film, GOAT Beyond the Game is a free curriculum that gives kids creative ways to support their emotional well-being. Designed to help kids build their confidence, stay focused, and navigate their emotions, the program brings the film's core themes into the classroom through fun activities. These are evidence-based tools that actually work and will help kids discover they have the power to change the game. Visit kevinlovefund.org and download it today for your classroom or family.
Behind every meal are the efforts of our farmers and farm workers, whose work feeds our families and powers our communities. For more than 30 years, AgSafe has supported this industry with the knowledge and resources needed to keep workers safe and thriving. We partner with agricultural employers to strengthen safety practices and provide hands-on training. Safety isn't paperwork, it's people, community, and peace of mind. Learn more about our work at agsafe.org. Sponsored by agsafe.org.
More than 4 million adults in the United States have glaucoma.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Nearly half of those with glaucoma don't even know that they have it until vision loss has occurred.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments.
Schedule a comprehensive eye exam to protect your sight.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue. It's really weird to do a vocal warm-up in front of a room full of people. Matt McNeil, did you just...
I was just karaokeing all my favorite Rush songs. So that's why you're just waiting for the end of Free Will, and then we can get going again. So
I was like, Matt McNeil's the host of the Matt McNeil Show here. On KTNF first, I guess.
Whatever, By the way, shout out to Seattle guys too.
Yes,
you and I are both out in Seattle.
We're both in Seattle.
Brilliant.
We're growing every single day.
Oh well, I've got an ointment.
We need to go global, I think, and I think if we have students from other countries come in studio, this is what I'm trying to do. See, I'm trying to expand internationally.
That's professional radio broadcasting. There, people.
Saying. We have our friends from AFS, which is a wonderful organization that was started during World War I by paramedics who wanted to never go to war again, and we know that has not been successful. And yet we have students from all over the world that families that welcome students. We are thrilled to have two students whose families welcome and are hosts to AFS students. Correct? We have Leni and Henrietta in studio with us, both from Kenwood Academy. I love that Leni is like a South Loop. I'm not going to tell you the cross streets or anything. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Excellent. Is it your first time on the radio?
It is.
Have you ever listened to the radio?
No, not really.
Yeah, see that.
You're even Alpha? Are you Gen Z or Alpha?
Gen Z.
You're Gen Z. Like, okay, yeah. This is like when we were kids and we look at horseshoes. That's what we're doing right now, huh? This is great.
So radio is this box that's sometimes in cars.
Podcast with ads and we can't swear. Okay,
yes.
Next.
And people can call. So this is all live. Although we do have some modern technology. We're all on Facebook and YouTube right now as well, and Substack. And Henrietta, have you ever been on the radio?
No, never.
Do you listen to the radio ever?
A little in the car, but nothing.
So that's a little bit like on accident. So what you're saying is you've listened to the radio on accident.
Yes.
Lisa you're from Germany?
No, France.
From France. I apologize. Let me write down my notes better. I apologize. So I know that you said you didn't want to come on the air very much. So let me start with our friends first, and maybe you'll warm up to wanting to share with us. That sound good?
Yeah.
I wish I spoke any other language. A little bit of Spanish. Story for another time. So Leni, tell me a little bit about this program. How long has your family participated in AFS?
Well, I kind of discovered it through my school. I had asked my French teacher if he knew any programs or I was just like, I want to study abroad. How do I do that? And I emailed the school. They told me about AFS. I looked into it. I applied. I got accepted, and then I, went off to France, and it was amazing.
I'm super jealous. Did you ever study abroad?
No, I didn't. I was in the military, so I'd been to France. It is lovely over there. It is lovely. It's a different kind of exchange program.
So how long? So you went for a whole school year?
Yeah, 10 months.
I didn't realize that some students could go half a year. I think I've mostly talked to students who've done the entire 10-month program.
Yeah.
And so when you went, so you're staying with a family. Did they prepare you for what to expect? Because you're staying in a whole new family's place.
Yeah, so I would say they prepared me pretty well. I found out who I was going to be, who my host family was going to be, I think in May. I can't really remember, end of the school year.
Okay.
And I got their contacts. I messaged them and stuff. So, and at orientations, when we arrived in Paris, they told us what to expect and whatnot.
So when you came back, you're like, Mom, Dad, you definitely, or whoever, we got to do this too. We got to bring a family to our house.
I wish I could. I don't know if I have the space for it.
Yeah.
Or if my parents are up for it, but
Did you encounter a lot of sort of disdain for Americans when you were in France? Just because I sense that I worry about the students that go there and the expectations that people have of us.
That's a good question. I think a lot of people had their judgments about me. A lot of people thought I was a Trump supporter or something, or they would ask really weird questions like, are all Americans fat? Or do you guys eat McDonald's every day? Or stuff like that. This is what you think of us, really?
Yeah, I think fat and dumb is pretty much what they think.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly
I'm not surprised.
One of the things I found to be interesting about this is there is a learning that comes from being there, that you're not visiting. Mm-hmm. And the more comfortable you get with being part of the culture, it shows. The people can see that, and it changes. And the way that you interact with people by the time you're there at your last day is very different from the way you're interacting with those people there. And I think the perspective that you're going to get, and I imagine you can talk a little bit about this, is one that is just, wow, yeah, you really get a grasp of what life is like on a day-to-day basis here.
Yeah. I think when I was in France, I don't even really know how to word this, but I kind of forgot a lot about American culture while I was there. So when I come back, I was like, whoa, it felt foreign yet again. So.
Being able to read all the billboards, being able because it's just all of a sudden, I can read everything again. And not saying, but you get very conversational languages over there as opposed to book learning. And so a lot of the stuff is like, what does that say? But when you get back and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's right. You really do, because you are in that country and you are immersed in that country.
Yeah, it was pretty strange. And at first it took me a while to get used to. And then sometimes I'd be on a train. I'd be like, this is my day-to-day life. I'm in France. I'm actually living here. This is crazy.
I'm here. I'm another part of the world.
Yeah.
And Henrietta, how about yourself? Did you study abroad as well?
Yes, I did.
And where did you go?
I was in France for 10 months.
Oh, were you always in France at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
In the same schools? Because you're not always placed in the same...
No, in the same region, though.
In the same region. And so what part of France were you in?
The Ardennes region.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Henrietta?
The northeast, the Champagne region.
Oh, wow.
Well, hello.
And what made you decide to apply for this program? Was it something that was kind of presented at school, or that you'd always wanted to do?
Yeah, so I had heard about it for a while. In middle school, I'd heard about studying abroad. And so I had kind of forgotten about it by 10th grade when I talked to Leni for the first time. And she was like, oh, I've been thinking about studying abroad because we were in the same French class. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to do that too. Mm-hmm. And so I looked into the program, I applied, and I got accepted.
And the same questions, a little bit. I mean, so when you got there, what would you say surprised you the most about being in France and studying there?
I'd say just the way people, people's lifestyles and the way people live is just so different. How they interact with people and work is just so different than what I'm used to.
the interaction that I imagine there was one of those things where it's like the school experience alone was just one of those things. It was like, they do this very differently than us. Definitely. And actually, a lot of things, some things we do good, some things they do a lot better. And I think that was one of the things I found was fascinating was that, it opens your mind to thinking outside of what your norms are, which is, as someone who's coming here from France into Chicago, I imagine you're getting a little bit of that as well. And then.
And when you were studying there, like the family that you get placed with, was that kind of a seamless transition to like be in somebody else's house, be like somebody else's kid for 10 months?
Definitely not. There were definitely some things I had to like learn the hard way, or like they're like, well, not learn the hard way, but like there were rules that like they don't tell you first off. Cause like, we don't have rules, but there is always rules. There's always like little things to. Yes.
Like implied, like some you just routines that we don't know. Do you have any? Was there a moment that jumps out at you that you didn't know was going to be an unspoken rule? I think is what we're talking about.
Unspoken rule.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like, are we louder? Do they notice? I don't know. I don't know if you two are loud. I don't. They always notice when I'm in Europe that I'm loud.
For me, I'm actually a very quiet person. So for me, it was like. My host family was actually a lot louder than I was. I was like, wow, this is a lot different than my own family. But
For me, it's the opposite. I mean, there would be some times when I was more quiet, but when I was around like closer friends and I'd be at lunch and I'd be talking to my friend and she'd be like, Leni, you're talking too loudly. And I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's the American.
And then I come back to Chicago and I was like, whoa, everyone is speaking so loud. I can hear everyone's conversations.
You almost got like hypersensitive to it.
Yeah, it was strange.
What about the food? Because we often talk about like how much American food has more dyes and chemicals in it. Is that something that you noticed?
I guess not really.
Okay.
But I did. Everyone has these stereotypes that like, in America you eat so much fast food. You're always eating fast food. Like I eat so much more fast food in France than I ate in America.
Oh, really?
European fast food is a lot better. They've taken what we've done and mastered it. It is quite good.
Yeah, my favorite was French tacos.
I'm sorry.
They're so good.
French tacos?
Le taco.
Now, Lison, do you, am I saying it correctly?
What?
Lison, is that how you say your name? Hello, welcome to the. You didn't necessarily want to jump on the microphone, but what made you decide to be a part of this program?
I wanna travel with AFS, but I'm in my school. I'm in important year because exam and I can't travel. So we decide with my family to. Be a host family and
are you finding that you're so my Spanish is not strong, but I always try to like find the word in Spanish first and then try to do you do that, or do you have a different way of learning another language? Yeah. No, I asked a very stupid question.
You liking Chicago? You liking being here in Chicago?
Yeah. Yes.
How's the food?
Good.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's good. Chicago. I mean, not for nothing, but I think we do pretty well with the food. How long have you been here?
Oh yeah.
Just 1 week.
1 week. You just got here. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. So you get to be here for a few weeks before school, because school will start late August, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what kind of things are you guys doing in the summer then, with the students?
We have some things planned, but it's our first time in the U.S., so we're doing a ton of like tourist Chicago stuff, like tasting all the Chicago foods and stuff that they don't have.
Raising canes.
Raising canes?
Is that Chicago?
Were you watching all the World Cup social media and you have to have ranch sauce, ranch dressing? Is that? I don't even eat it. I don't even eat ranch dressing. Yeah. I mean, so when you look at social media, were you guys watching all the World Cup and people coming from all over the world and falling in love with the United States? It was kind of cool. Were you watching some of that and it's all now you're in the videos. You're inside of it.
No.
Well, so for the tours, have you had a chance to go? Like, I would highly recommend the architectural tour on the boats.
Oh yes, we're looking into that. We might do that. Yeah.
Is it one of those things for you where you've been here for a week? you're kind of like, okay, this is better than I thought it was going to be, because there is, I think, that mentality where people come on over here in the same sense as when you two went over to France, and there's an apprehension, there's a nervousness. You come here and you just see these are just genuine people, and this is just a different way of life. And I imagine that's been kind of fun for you to see a little bit already just in that first week.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's not very, very different than in France, because I watch a lot of American movies, American series, and I have I don't know, maybe a romantic vision of USA, and it's not like that, but it's very cool.
It's cool.
I think that Chicago is a good example of coming to the United States. I have to say, I think we're a good sampling. So I'm so glad that you were able to come to Chicago and that your family is hosting it. And that's was that something that you had already planned ahead, or was it something you came back and you asked your family if we could do this?
It was during my program. My her dad, my host dad, asked like, "Oh, how would you feel about Lison, like your host sister, coming to visit you this summer for a few weeks?" And I was like, "Oh, that'd be great." And like, so we got the tickets and. Yep, she's here for a few weeks.
Wonderful.
I want to let folks know we're gonna take a break, and I know that I just realized that there were questions I was supposed to ask. Apparently, they were given to me, and
I think we did a good job.
I think so too. I want to let folks know host families are still needed for students who are set to arrive in August. So that's just a few weeks.
Yes.
If you hear the conversations that we're having regularly with our friends from AFS-USA.org, it's AFS-USA, again, an organization that was started during World War I by paramedics who never wanted young people to experience war again, to have experiences in countries and to understand each other and to reach across, and just we're all human. So go to afsusa.org if you are willing to open up your heart and home to students, and also for other families who maybe want to send their kids. There are scholarships available. So we are looking for students who want to study abroad starting as early as January. Let's take a break here, and I think we're talking to some more folks when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. I want to thank the ladies for coming in so much. Henrietta, Leni, and Lisa. Thank you so much for coming in. And I hope that you enjoyed radio. Maybe you'll tune in once in a while.
Yes, thank you.
And I can guarantee you that people who enjoy my show, and none of them voted for Trump. I'm just saying. Let's take a break. We'll be right back after this. Of course, joining me is Matt McNeil, the host of The Matt McNeil Show.
Hello.
Because he gets to name his own. They didn't let me do that.
Out Chicago.
If you think of every single thing from the Supreme Court to deporting these poor immigrants who are just trying to work hard and feed their families and have a better life, to the trans community that was thrown under the bus, you just wonder, where will the hate, where will the fear end? And if you keep thinking about it, like I just mentioned, it's a nowhere street mentally.
Catch Out Chicago every Sunday, 11 to 1 on WCPT 820.
This is a WCPT moment in labor. In the 1830s in Lowell, Massachusetts, during the rise of the textile industry, factories were hiring large groups of women ranging in ages 18 to 35 to work at their mills. The workdays were 13 hours long and had poor working conditions. By 1834, the textile market was sluggish. In response, the workers' wages were reduced by 12.5%. One of the workers, Julia Wilson, tried to organize the women to get their wages back, only to be terminated abruptly. Wilson signaled the women to strike or turn out. Over 800 women marched and signed a petition saying we will not go back into the mills to work unless our wages are continued. Ultimately, the strike failed, but they learned from their mistake and successfully battled back a rent increase on their boarding houses 2 years later. By January 1845, about a dozen of the Lowell female textile workers came together to form the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association. This would become the first organized union of women workers in American history. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Take summer to the next level with the stunning performance of a Porsche. Find the perfect model for you at the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park. Browse and test drive our extensive selection, like the 2026 Porsche Cayenne. Right now, lease the 2026 Cayenne for just $1149 a month for 39 months. Discover performance like no other when you visit the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park or PorscheExchange.com.
$10,859 to assignment for qualified buyers. Excludes tax title license and dealer fee. No security deposit required. See dealer for details. Offer ends 7/31/26.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home. Joining me in studio is my guest co-host today is Matt McNeil. He's the host of his own show, The Matt McNeil Show, heard here on WCPT weeknights from 9 to 10, following the Politics Bar.
Yes, and then 3 to 5, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and AM 950.
I have to tell you something. If your show comes on and I'm still in the kitchen, I have taken way too long to cook dinner. It's like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like, who's hungry here, buddy? But sometimes I just get distracted by Politics Bar, and then you come on, I'm like, I'm listening to Matt now.
Beautiful.
Well, it's fun. That's when you hear me. When I text you, that means I took too long making dinner.
Well, I do love that when you text me about the show.
It was on like 4 hours earlier. You're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
So no, I find it great. It's like, hey, Patty's listening. It was all for you anyway. That's all it was, Patty.
That's how it works in my mind. But it's not just for me, but it's for everyone. Our friends from AFS-USA.org. Sydney is working as a volunteer right now with AFS. Previously, a student who traveled to France as well. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, let folks know what AFS stands for.
Yes, so AFS stands for the American Field Service, and as you mentioned earlier, it was founded by paramedics as kind of a bus service to bring people across the country during World War I. And right now we are obviously doing exchange programs and running, year-long programs, semester programs, summer programs, gap year programs, and really trying to increase visibility for intercultural. Wow, I can't talk.
I do the same thing.
Stumbling all over my words, but really trying to increase students going abroad, sharing cultures, and traveling the world at a really young age.
And how old were you when you went?
I was 15.
And how old are you, may I ask how old you are now?
I'm 24. So
I love it, but it means that you really enjoy this program and believe in it so strongly that you want to continue to be involved. I love that. Where did you go to high school? Remind me.
I'm not actually from Chicago. I'm from California.
All right.
Yes.
Now I'm sorry. It's all coming back to me.
Chicago.
Yes. And what brought you to Chicago?
Combination of work and friends. I went to school in the Midwest, so I kind of migrated here after college.
Excellent. And so when you have students coming in, and I know that there is this sort of transition period, like some people get the city that they wanted. I didn't even ask. Did you get the city? Because you guys had a pre-existing friendship and had studied in France and stayed with Lasson's family. But was that the town that you had wanted, both of you, when you went to France?
I actually, not at all, because I wasn't really expecting any city in particular, because it really is just wherever your host family is, that's where you're staying.
Yes. Right.
But when I first got my host family, I saw the city that I was like, where the fuck is that?
Oh!
What?
Hi. So this is not podcasting. So the FCC does not.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah, just it's so funny.
So you get that, and you go there. So obviously, then, did you feel like you were a little bit disjointed? Then you get there, and you're like, okay, this works just like a charm.
Yeah. So I got there, and it was amazing, obviously, but
yeah,
it really is just. It depends on where host family is. And
Well, and I gotta imagine in the program that if someone requests a city, that you're not going to, putting it in U.S. terms, I requested Chicago, I go to Topeka. That's not, imagine that there are kind of ways that you kind of work around that you try to get something in the similar situation, right?
Yeah, so mostly with the application, you're pretty much picking your country. Obviously, you can kind of describe in your application, like you're the type of person that grew up in a certain city, you really are interested in being in this type of culture. But there isn't really too much preference in terms of city because they really want you to stay open-minded. A big part of the program is try not to go in with too many expectations because they really don't want you to be locked into a certain picture because then you're not going to stay open to new experiences. You're going to have too much of this preset idea of what your year is going to look like, and maybe you might turn down experiences that could come up. So for me, I ended up picking France kind of on a whim. I didn't have a specific country that was really jumping out at me, and I was kind of just put me wherever. And we were actually talking about this before we came on air, that the city that the town, I guess you could call it, that I was originally placed in, I don't even remember the name of the town. It was so tiny. But then I ended up finding out that my high school was in a bigger city that was nearby, and I just had to commute in. And so it's very much you're not really giving any kind of preference to a city because they really want you to remain open-minded, and you end up finding these really amazing cities that you might not otherwise know about. And so they want you to not go in with too much of a because if you're coming to the U.S. and you see New York, you're really if you think I want to be in New York, and then you don't get it, what if that ruins the program for you? So they don't want to give you too much of that
And how did it take you very long to decide that this was this was better than you could have even hoped for?
No, it only took a couple weeks. So
Okay.
I would like drive around the city, like, oh wow, this is so much different from where I'm from, but so much, like, so cool also.
That's wonderful. And Leni, did you have an expectation of where you were going to go? We'll swing that back a little bit for you. Or yeah.
I didn't really have a preference. I actually wanted to be in a smaller town. I wanted something that was very different from Chicago. Like, I did kind of want to be more in the South, but I was placed like the furthest up north you could have put me.
Yeah.
But it was like a town called Charleville-Mézières, which is known for like a famous poet from there, Arthur Rimbaud. I probably butchered the name, but it was way like cooler than I thought it was gonna be, and a lot of people from that town did not like it, and I was like, really? Like, it's such a cute town. I love this place.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Are there things, at least that you have in mind that you want to do in Chicago that you've thought about or read about or watched in a movie or television?
No, not at all. Not
taking it all in. Yeah.
I don't know very well Chicago. So.
And even like deep dish pizza, people tell you to eat the hot dogs and deep dish pizza.
We just ate it this afternoon.
Oh, where'd you go?
Lumanati's.
Yes. Excellent. How'd you like that? Was that good? Yeah.
So
where do you get your pizzas?
What did that lose last night? I was on the one down at United Center.
Where you were when you took that picture? Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Every time they take a picture of me with food, it looks like this is the happiest day of my life. So it's there. One thing, let me ask you really quick. For the two of you that are parents, one thing you miss about being over there?
That's a good question.
The people.
The people? Oh, well, you're going to be welcome back very quickly.
Like all my friends and stuff, and like on my last week there, I went to see some friends, and I was like, I'm coming back in the future. Like, nice. I have plans. I'm going to come back. I'm going to see you guys again. You know, it's not the end.
Oh, wonderful. How about for you?
I'd also probably say the people, but also the food is really good.
Well, and can I say one quick thing here, too? The one thing that's really nice is for you guys, and right now, for everyone out there listening, you guys now have a little bit of a step up because you have experience on this. And my kids are now in their 20s and stuff like this, and so I've seen a lot of their friends, the ones that had friends over in France, in Norway, in Germany. They've got these opportunities. They're going over there and working for a few years,
escaping.
Exactly, they're wonderful. So it's not just an experience, a fun experience, a life exchanging experience, but this is one of those things that really can help you out a lot in your future, and I think that's wonderful.
I really appreciate you sharing your stories with us. And for folks who want to open their homes and hearts, or if they aren't able to do that, they can also support you in other ways, correct?
Yes, there's so many ways to get involved. Obviously, if you want to open your home, we have a lot of students that are still looking for host families, a bunch that are coming in very, very quickly. But then also, if you just want to volunteer and get involved, there's no prior experience that's needed. You can go to AFS-USA.org. Or just reach out to any of us. We have an Instagram page, a Facebook page. We're always looking for volunteers to get involved. If you're interested in joining one of the programs, we have 2-week programs, 3-week programs, summer programs, year-long programs as well. We're always looking for people to get involved. Chicago is one of the most active chapters. We have a lot of people that are involved in the organization.
It's because they get to do radio when they come.
Yes, we do get to do radio.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sydney. Thank you so much to Leni, Henrietta, and Lison. Thank you so much. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, and I apologize. Maddie, whatever. It's Betsy Boxes. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Homeland Security Secretary Mark Wayne Mullins